Hey, this is Hot Takes, and I just couldn't keep my grubby little gay boy hands off of Shane Dawson. Disclaimer. The things I state in this video are my own personal opinions, and nothing said here is intended to be presented as factual information. I also like Shane Dawson, and I like his content, and I've been following him for 10 years now, which is literally half of my life, so I do like to believe that I have a place in being critical of him when he's doing something that I personally don't think is good. I also think it's good to be critical of the influencers that you follow. So anyways, with all of that being said, let's get on with it. The subject I'm going to be touching upon is the fact that, in my eyes, I feel like Shane Dawson glorifies mental illness. Now, I'm not saying that he runs a depression blog on Tumblr and actively discourages people from seeking professional help, but he glorifies specific unhealthy behaviors, and I don't care for it. Maybe glorify isn't the right word, but I don't see him actively encouraging his fans to shower and to take care of themselves in their diets, or to exercise, or to, in general, partake in self-care. I would include clips from his videos, but I use the Photos app on Windows to edit my videos, and I also don't want to run the risk of him copyright striking me given the recent drama with Manny MUA and T-Spill. I feel like in every video that I watch from him, or with him in it, he talks about being gross and dirty and disgusting and acts like he never showers or takes care of himself, and given that he's a 30-year-old man, I assume that he does shower and take care of himself a little more than he lets on, but I also know that if I were an impressionable 14-year-old, I would see him doing that and think that since he's someone that I look up to, that, hey, maybe I should emulate the behavior that he works into his persona. I'm coming from a place of having done that, of having not showered or taken care of myself, and of having engaged in a lot of unhealthy behavior that I saw people I looked up to engaging in. I've also tried thinking of this from the perspective of him joking to cope with his mental health problems. While I think this kind of behavior can be cathartic and helpful to an extent, it can easily become unhealthy, and when you have 19 million subscribers like Shane has, I think it's inappropriate and irresponsible to do this in a video where tens of millions of people are going to watch it. It's different when you make these jokes on social media or in real life, because in real life you have a severely limited audience, and if you're not famous, you're not going to have some massive impact on your 200 followers on Twitter. But again, when you have such a huge audience like he does, I think it's important for him to be mindful of what he says and the behavior that he promotes. I don't think you should necessarily be responsible for the millions of impressionable children and teenagers that watch him, but again, to reiterate, I think it would benefit him and some of the people who watch him if he were a little more mindful of his younger audience, those who may try to emulate the behavior that he promotes. He may not even be promoting this behavior intentionally, but the eating disorder and depression blogs I followed on Tumblr when I was 14 were explicit in not promoting eating disorders or mental illness, yet I still developed an eating disorder and made no effort to take care of my own mental health because I thought that, essentially, it was cool to be suicidal despite their best intentions. There's also the subject of censorship, and I'm not saying he should censor himself or his content. Again, what I am saying is that he should be a little more mindful of his content. I enjoy the subject matter of his content in the documentaries or whatever, but I don't appreciate how he treats the subject of his own mental health. He can cope and he can do what he wants to deal with it, but I don't think he should subject his audience to his unhealthy coping mechanisms or promote unhealthy behaviors unintentionally or otherwise. It would be a different deal entirely if his channel actually focused on his mental health or his personal life in general, or if he didn't throw it into videos where it's not relevant. Also, I'm not here to attack Shane, and if you enjoy his jokes and you understand that they're just that, jokes, and that they're not that deep, and if you can find catharsis in them, then that's totally cool and I support you. But the things that you find cathartic may not be cathartic for everyone else, and things that help you may not help other people. In general, I would like to see more big creators on this platform promote getting actual professional help, or at least promoting healthy coping mechanisms and behaviors, and to say that, hey, at some point, you need to just step up and start taking care of yourself, no matter how hard it is. And I'd like to see Shane taking his own mental health more seriously, and not constantly treating it like some joke, because it's not a joke. And no, I'm not trying to shame people who struggle with taking care of themselves, and I realize that getting help and taking care of yourself can be unrealistic financially, but these are my opinions and I have laid them out for you. If you have any thoughts on the subject of this video, or you want clarification on something I said or whatever else, feel free to leave a comment. And if you liked what I had to say, feel free to subscribe to my channel.